Welcome to the Living the Dream podcast with Curveball. If you believe, you can achieve. Welcome to the Living the Dream with Curveball podcast, a show where I interview guests that teach, motivate, and inspire. Today, we're going to be talking about branding and advertising, as I am joined by branding and advertising expert and the CEO of Strategic eMarketing, Emanuelle Rose. Emanuelle has a lot of experience in lead generation, branding, advertising, and digital agency operation. So if you're somebody who's looking to take your business to another level, then you need to get in touch with Mr. Rose because he has cutting-edge marketing strategies to help you do so. So, Emanuelle, thank you so much for joining me today.
It's my pleasure. I appreciate being here. Thanks, Curtis.
Why don't you start off by telling everybody a little bit about yourself?
Well, yeah. Let's see. So you knocked out the professional stuff. I live out on the West Coast, out in Reno, and enjoy being outside as much as possible. And it provides a welcome respite for my brain and eyes from being on the computer. So I like to fly fish, and like to bird hunt, and spend time backpacking and camping. And then my wife loves to play golf, so I've learned to play golf, and we do that as a way to spend time together, and then spend time with the grandkids doing what all those kids do, with the gymnastics and soccer games and all those things. So it's a full and meaningful life.
Well, that's great. I'm definitely glad you enjoyed. So let the listeners know how you decided to get into branding, advertising, and marketing and digital agency operations.
Well, I don't know if it was such a decision just kind of naturally was what I was drawn to doing. I was involved in some businesses where I ended up being the product out guy, being a sales guy, and then sales and marketing are so closely aligned, and started to educate myself on what good marketing was, and then the internet, social media became such a part of our lives about 14 years ago. And I had a couple bad experiences of being an employee. And I said, well, I must be unmanageable, and better just work for myself. And then that was 14 years ago. And I got a couple clients right away, two of which are still clients of mine. So I've always been able to stay one chapter ahead of them, and been riding this very dynamic wave of digital marketing over that time.
So tell us about your company, Strategic eMarketing. If I came to you guys and said, hey, need you to help me with your marketing, what could I expect from your services?
Well, we look and see what you're doing now that you're doing well. Maybe it's email marketing. Maybe you're really good at doing pay-per-click advertising. Maybe you have a great website, and we'd look and ask you and understand what your goals are and where you want it to grow, how you want it to grow, and then make some suggestions and build some test campaigns to see if our suppositions and theories are good, and what the market tells us, and then work to meet your key performance indicators based on successful campaigns going forward. So we can work on as small of a project as just doing LinkedIn marketing, for example, or we act as an entire marketing department for some companies. So it really is a very customized boutique kind of offer.
So tell us about the top 3 emerging marketing trends for 2024.
Well, they are AI, and AI. No, seriously, the AI tools for every part of a marketing campaign are phenomenal. At this point, just about everybody has heard about, if not tried, something like ChatGPT or Bard or Claude. and seen the capacity for generative AI. And so the content development has gotten has gotten changed dramatically. There's still some things. It's not all plug and shoot though. So we have these tools, generative tools, but we still have to manage them and make sure that they are used correctly. So the copywriting is massive trend. Then you have the image development in these tools like Dolly, and you're able to create an image of the President George Washington riding a unicorn, and or it could be a landscape in the style of Ansel Adams. So you have a great creative capacity now as an individual to create any image that you want. Um, and the same in the area of video. You have these tools like Opus Clips and Clip Scribe that will take running video and chop them up and title them and create 30 to 60-second clips for you. Um, so AI is the biggest emerging trend, and the best way people can leverage it if you're working on marketing campaigns is to pick an area that you're not very good at or you have a gap in, and find a couple tools and test them, and then find one that works to help do what you need to do good marketing.
Okay, so give us some best practice tips on the best ways to market to Gen Z.
Gen Z requires that we, as the business owner or manager, um, tell stories about our involvement with our staff, with our involvement in the community, our involvement with things that we're passionate about. So it's different for those of us who have been in business for a while. We were trained to keep the private life private, and the business life was the focus. Well, Gen Z sees a little bit more of a blend of that. They want to know about who we are as people and align their values with our values, and so we have to speak about our values. And video is the best way to do that. And I encourage everybody to get comfortable shooting 90 seconds of video every Monday morning, and then using a very simple content calendar, which is 1 week you talk about your favorite client. 1 week, the next week you talk about something that you're involved in the community or a fundraiser that you went to recently. 1 week you talk about somebody who you're working with, a staff person or another service provider that you're appreciative of. And then 1 week you talk about product or service and how you're helping with your product or service, but that you create a content calendar around your full experience as a human versus just products and services.
Well, talk about how important of a role storytelling plays in crafting compelling marketing campaigns. Do you feel like it plays an important role? Why not?
Yeah, the storytelling is definitely an art, and it requires some background and understanding who the marketing piece is being developed for, and stratifying or targeting people in specific spots in their life. And so the most fundamental marketing story structure is the problem, solution, call to action. And and so inside of that, if you're able to draw people in emotionally and then give them a reason why your product or service is going to solve that for them, then you have a full engagement into that ad, and you're more likely to transact. So if you're selling radios, radios, you would tell the story of the power going out and there being no internet and no TV, and that you would be looking for information, and that the solution would be an AM radio, and that this one that has the crank on it is even better because you don't even have to worry about batteries. And here are the ways that you can get that radio right now. Either call or click this link.
So you know that there are a lot of marketing agencies out there, some good, some bad, but give people some best practice tips on picking marketing agencies or staff.
Yeah, that's a good question. I love that. Um, there's a lot of marketing agencies out there now, and number one, you want to find somebody that you like to talk to. So that's the first thing. Somebody you feel comfortable and that is aligned with your values and understands what you're trying to create and what you need. And being clear about the line between what is marketing and what is sales. And sometimes that line gets blurred by business managers, business owners, CEOs. But marketing's role is to produce people who are interested in your product or service. Sales is to close and transact. So so you want to number one have somebody that you like to be around and that you feel good talking to, understands what you're trying to accomplish. Number two, you want to see some past work. It doesn't have to be in the same industry that you're a part of, and a lot of times it's better if it's not, because then you have a fresh set of eyes creatively into your industry. And then the third thing, which I'm noticing is missing in probably 80% of the conversations I have with agency owners, is a written scope of work and what is going to be produced on for the project or on a monthly basis. So that written scope of work, and then what the costs are associated with that, and what the payment schedules are. And then you're going to also want to ask for some social proof, right? Some clients who are satisfied, either through a service like Clutch, which is an aggregation of agencies, or Yelp, or even just verifiable stories that are on LinkedIn. So those are the four things that I recommend for people when they're looking for marketing help.
Talk about the best ways to do a balance between automation as well as personalization when you're doing a marketing campaign.
Yeah, that's good too. That's a great question. Uh, I like to think of it in terms of the funnel, and that you try to make the top of the funnel as automated as you can, so that if you're just trying to get warm the leads, essentially, right? Like say a cold email campaign, you're gonna make that as automated as possible. It's always working in the background. You've got your lists going into the email service provider, and these constant drip of emails going out to get people who are saying yes, maybe, or not interested. And then once they come into your funnel and say yes or I'm interested, then that's where I like to get hyper personalized and even get human hands on it, even so that you're enriching that each of those records, each of those people who have said that they're interested, and start to understand who they are as a human, where they went to college, do they have kids, what do they talk about on their Instagram account, and understand who they are and what the business needs are, and customizing any conversation outreach. Materials or gifts around them specifically as a human being.
Tell us about any current or upcoming projects that you're working on that people need to know about.
Wow, I'm working on a guidebook for AI prompting, and how to best create prompts for the various services, and build the intellectual property of the prompting as a marketing professional, and then also why you should be using tools that are SSL and encrypted when interacting with these GPTs. So that's one guidebook that I'm working on, and working on a couple of speeches or talks about AI and project management, and then AI in hospital and medical, and how how we can leverage both the existing tools that are here today, and then prepping ourselves for how we can use them in the future when the AIs are talking to the AIs, and we have to kind of be in the middle of managing the variety of tools that are out there.
Okay, so if somebody wants to take advantage of your services or keep up with everything that you're up to, throw out your contact info.
Thanks, Curtis. Yeah, EmanuelleRose.com is the website, or you can search for Emanuelle Rose on LinkedIn. Either one's great.
Okay, close us out with some final thoughts. Maybe if there was something I forgot to talk about that you would like to touch on, or just any final thoughts you have for the listeners.
Yeah, I want to encourage you to use AI as a tool, and remember that you're a human being working to talk to other human beings, and keep that in focus as you use these AI tools.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to check out his services, go to EmanuelleRose.com. Follow, rate, review, share this episode to as many people as possible, especially all of the business owners that are looking for cutting edge marketing strategies. If you have any guest or suggestion topics, see Jackson102 at Cox.net is the place to send them. Please jump on your favorite podcast app, hit that follow button, give us a review. As always, thank you for listening and supporting the show. Emanuelle, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your expertise.
Thank you, Curtis. I really enjoyed the call. I appreciate it.
For more information on the Living the Dream podcast, visit www.djcurveball.com. Until next time, stay focused on living the dream.